You, you have no idea. You no idea what she's capable of. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow X-Men Christopher Johnson,
Hello, everyone.
and we're talking about one of the Divisive movies, X-Men Last Stand.
Yes, divisive is a very nice way of saying things, because this is one of the films that you actually really like or you absolutely hate.
Yeah.
I came around on this one, though I can still see some very glaring issues with it.
Yeah.
So,
That's the overview.
Okay. X-Men The Last Stand is a 2006 superhero film based on the X-Men comic books published by Marvel Entertainment Group. It is the sequel to X2, as well as the third installment in the X-Men film series. The film was produced by 20th Century Fox, Marvel Entertainment, The Donner's Company, Dune Entertainment, and Ingenious Film Partners, and distributed by 20th Century Fox. Yeah, again, my apologies. The film was directed by Brett Ratner, replacing Bryan Singer, who chose to direct Superman Returns, and written by Simon Kinberg, Zach Penn, and Matthew Vaughn, Singer's original replacement. The film stars an ensemble cast including Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Ian McKellen, Famke Janssen, Anna Paquin, Kelsey Grammer, Elliot Page, James Marsden, Rebecca Romaine, Shawn Ashmore, Aaron Stanford, Vinnie Jones, and Patrick Stewart.
I think it's a synopsis.
Okay. The discovery of a cure for mutations leads to a turning point for mutants. They may now choose to give up their powers and become fully human, or retain their uniqueness and remain isolated. War looms between the followers of Charles Xavier, who preaches tolerance, and those of Magneto, who advocates survival of the fittest.
I've grown to really like this movie.
Same here. I definitely wouldn't call it the best.
No.
And I wouldn't call it the worst. There is much worse.
Yeah.
There is much worse. This one, I feel, is very middle of the pack.
Yeah.
As there are definitely some really, really good things about this film, and then there's some things that are just unforgivable.
Yeah.
But why don't we first get into the cast, starting with the face of the franchise, Logan, a.k.a. Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman.
He's still great in this movie.
Well, yes.
He actually gets a teacher role in this movie.
Yeah, he's not just the babysitter anymore. He's fully involved in helping these, young mutants and their education as well as trying to figure out their place, within the X-Men.
Yeah. Along with, he also is stuck between the Jean Grey, Phoenix, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, because, things get very complicated.
Yep.
Things get very complicated.
Yep. Where he has to do a heartbreaking thing.
Yeah, and at the same time, almost has his wildest dreams come true.
Yeah.
I wonder how things would have gone. But, of course, Wolverine is still great.
Yeah.
Doing his thing. Especially when he's out in the woods and facing off against some renegade mutants.
Yeah.
Though, it does make me wonder, or it does make me think, he just killed a lot of mutants right there.
Yeah.
And yet this is a whole thing where I think mutants should kind of come together, but they're not. It's a war. It's a three-sided war.
Yeah.
It's X-Men versus Brotherhood / Morlocks, and then the U.S. government over there. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of winners in this situation, huh?
And of course, he also does the fastball special twice.
Yes! Finally, we get to see one of the best team-up moves in X-Men. We finally get to see Wolverine and Colossus do the fastball special, where Colossus essentially grabs Wolverine and essentially yeets him at whatever threat they're dealing with.
Yeah. Versus Danger Room.
Which, thank you for finally introducing the Danger Room.
They've been working on it, but thanks to this director, we finally got it.
Why did it have to take the third film?
Yeah.
But seriously, the Danger Room sequence is one of the best parts of the whole film.
And also foreshadowing a couple of movies from now.
Well, yes, very true. And at least during the Danger Room scene, everybody has at least one moment where they shine.
Yeah. And then, of course, let's talk about the promoted leader, Halle Berry.
Yes. Yep. Aurora Monroe, a.k.a. Storm, played by Halle Berry. She finally has much more agency.
Yeah.
She finally has much more of a prominent role in these films.
Mm-hmm.
Because after unfortunate circumstances befall a couple of people on this table here, she has to essentially become the new leader of not just the X-Men, but now the new overall director of the Institute for Gifted Youngsters.
Yeah.
She now is in control of everything, and
of course she doesn't agree when some of her students might want to take the cure, like Rogue and Beast.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's one of the individuals that went through some circumstances to finally come around and not only accept her powers, but truly own them.
Yeah.
And for her to see other mutants contemplate giving up the thing that makes them them, she's against it. Yeah. You know, it's like our whole thing about this institute is to teach kids that it's fine to be a mutant and to properly learn how to utilize their abilities. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that whole idea.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so happy that they finally gave Storm so much more to do.
Yeah.
You know, for the long... I mean, she had some moments in the first two films, but she always felt like...
Yeah, they had to convince her to come back for this one. So they made her role much more
prominent.
She even said it during the award show that she was coming back for X-Men 3 during that time because people weren't quite sure if she was coming back for X-Men 3 at that time.
Well, I mean, I can't blame her because, she really did feel too much like a supporting character.
Yeah.
You know, almost, maybe not in the vein of like someone like Colossus, but maybe like somewhere in between Iceman and Cyclops.
Yeah.
Where, you're main cast, but how much main cast are you?
Yeah. And then, of course, she also does the reverse of what happened to Logan in the first movie. Asking him what side he's on.
Which was a nice callback.
Yeah.
And, oof. We do get to see her do some really awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, her big climactic fight with another character we'll get into a bit later. And it was really done well.
And in the end, she's in charge of the school.
Yeah, she's the leader.
Yeah.
Oh, how heavy the head that holds the crown.
Yeah.
But she's taking it in stride.
Yeah.
She's not letting it slow her down.
Should we talk about the other X-Men?
Yes. Do we go with the new prominent character, or do we go with the line of characters that were done dirty?
We'll go with the new characters.
I'm so happy that they finally added him, and they got the perfect actor for him. Dr. Henry Hank McCoy, a.k.a. Beast, played by everyone's favorite psychiatrist, and sometimes murderous sideshow character, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, I hear the blues a callin', tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
He is quite possible, you know what, right next to Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, he is the third most perfect casting for a character in this whole franchise.
Yeah. And he was fan casted way before they actually cast him.
I'm not surprised because this character, with how they have written Beast in the comics, they had to get someone who was, you know, that very sophisticated, very well-read individual that also carries a bit of gravitas. And Kelsey Grammer has that in spades.
Yep. He starts out working with the government.
Well, yeah, because...
after the event of X-Men 2, he got his own job.
Yeah. Though it is alluded to, the fact that, he was one of the earlier students.
Yeah. It comes into play in the prequel that we'll be discussing.
Yes, where he's essentially the right-hand man
Yeah.
to Xavier.
Yeah.
Though, personally, I think Cyclops should have been that, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
But I can't say enough of just how fantastic Kelsey Grammer did in this role. I mean, you get to see him, be the serious, government diplomat, trying to advocate for mutants, while at the same time you get to see him very jovial and,
Yeah.
just being comrades with everyone at the Institute.
Yeah, but I like that he made him and Wolverine have a rough start at the beginning.
Well, yeah, because despite him being a sophisticated, well-read individual, he's still an alpha male.
Yeah.
Beast ain't no pushover.
Yeah.
And when it's time to get into the thick of it, when it comes to combat, oh my God, it is glorious.
And there's one alternate take where he growls at Wolverine when he says, "Look who's talking," at him.
Which I think they should have had that.
Yeah, instead of just giving him that look, instead they give him just a look.
Which no, he should have showed some chest hair on that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he had already told Wolverine, "Son, I have been working for the rights of mutants ever since before you even had claws."
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing, and he knows what's best.
Yeah.
And plus, on top of those moments, his moments when he interacts with the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that kid. He's
Yeah.
a MacGuffin. And when he gets close to the kid and finds out that the kid's mutant power is the cure, and he sees his hand go from, his blue furry hand into his human hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a tear form.
Yeah.
Like, my God, this kid actually is the true link to make all of us normal again.
Yeah. And
give us the ability of anonymity.
Yeah. He said he debated with Storm, saying that she doesn't have that problem because she doesn't look like a mutant.
Yeah.
Unlike him.
Which is a very good thing that they finally brought in the Morlocks, though unfortunately they botched that.
Yeah. But let's talk about the other new X-Men. Yeah, I guess so.
Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde. This is a very... This isn't the easiest thing to discuss based off the fact of this was before Elliot's transition.
Yeah.
So when we refer to the character, we will refer to Kitty Pryde as she.
Mm-hmm.
When we refer to the actor,
Mm-hmm.
he. That's how we're going to go about this. But Elliot actually did a really good job with what he was given.
Yeah.
It was nice to finally see Kitty Pryde have much more of a role in these films, because the past two, she had just been a glorified cameo.
Yeah.
So to actively see Kitty be a member of the X-Men, and really a prominent one that comes in clutch, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
it is a bit unfortunate that with her on the come up, another character had to fall by the wayside.
And Kitty Pryde got to fight Juggernaut.
Yes, which led to one of the best scenes in the film. That led to a very meme-heavy moment.
Of course, Kitty Pryde, she also had a love triangle with Iceman and Rogue.
Which, yeah, should we go into them?
Yeah.
Which one first?
You go Iceman.
Okay. Bobby Drake, a.k.a. Iceman, played by Shawn Ashmore.
Yeah.
Once again, he has a much more prominent role.
Yeah, his role keeps getting bigger.
Which I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Shawn Ashmore did a fantastic job playing Bobby.
Yep. Being stuck in a love triangle and...
Yeah, because his girlfriend that he's had for about a movie and a half...
Yeah.
He can't touch.
Yeah.
Or he will, depending on how much of the touching, either slowly or rapidly die.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, there's the new girl on the block, new girl on the team that, he's having a connection with, you know. And at the same time, he can actually touch her and not fear dying.
Yeah.
So, it kind of causes conflicts. I mean, there's a reason why I put them in a perfect triangle here.
Yeah.
Because, this also causes issues for Rogue, played by Anna Paquin, as she seriously contemplates taking the cure.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, we don't have the completely awesome kick-ass Rogue.
No.
We unfortunately just have emo Rogue that only, gains abilities and slowly sucks people's lives away.
Mm-hmm.
And, she wants to be... Yeah, she wants what everybody else has, at least the ability to touch people, to have connections with people, true physical connections, and not have to worry about harming people. So, I mean, I understand why she leans more towards getting the cure, because they hadn't really developed the levels of how she would be able to control her abilities. Because later on for Rogue, she learns how to properly control her abilities. That it's not too much of an issue for her to come into contact with people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have enough time for that, so they essentially have her go through the dilemma of, do I get the cure? Do I not? I'm leaning more towards getting it.
Yeah. And she even asked for advice from Logan.
Yeah.
Who says he's not her father. It's her choice. You have to do it for you, not for anyone else.
Especially a boy.
Yeah.
And with the fact that they filmed 2 scenes...
Yeah.
Which scene do you think they really should have gone with?
Probably the deleted one.
The one where she keeps her powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the one we can have. I think that leads to their breakup off screen.
Well, yeah. And I think it caused more harm than good.
Yeah.
For her mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it was a good idea for them to go with her going through with getting the cure.
Okay, so let's talk about the other X-Men that were done dirty or what.
Well, there is once again Peter Rasputin.
Mm-hmm. He's not Russian.
Yes, but I refuse to just call him Peter Rasputin. But yes, Colossus is back. Yes, Daniel Cudmore, once again, doing good with what he's given, though unfortunately he's not given much. All he gets is, the fastball special, and
He says one line to Bobby, saying that Rogue left.
yeah, and a few awesome moments during the climactic fight, and that's about it.
Yep. At least Deadpool makes it up.
Yes, which I'm very happy about, but it also makes me sad. We had 3 films.
Yeah.
2 of which where he actually is much more prominent, and they still do nothing with him.
Yeah.
The most he did was in the second film.
Yeah.
And most of that time, he wasn't even in metal form.
Yeah.
And then when he is in metal form, he doesn't get to do much. Y'all did my boy Peter dirty.
Yeah.
He did him dirty. But no one else was done dirtier than Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops, played by James Marsden.
Yeah. All because he was busy filming Superman Returns.
What role did he have in that?
Also another love triangle between Superman and Lois.
Oh, what, he was the normal guy?
Yeah.
What was up with them just utterly screwing over James Marsden? What? First, you already relegated him as like second or third string because you wanted to promote Hugh Jackman, despite the fact Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men and always has been the leader of the X-Men since their first comic. And one of the big things that he has to deal with is his responsibility as a leader. But no, you take that away. Second of all, you don't make him the likable individual that we all know him to be. You make him a boring, laughable douche wearing turtlenecks and Tom Cruise sunglasses. And then, on top of it, when dealing with the whole love triangle, you're giving us more of the perception that we want to see Jean with Logan, which is not what it should be. And then on top of it, I mean, the second film...
He's brainwashed.
Yeah, and he's missing for like a third of the film.
Yep.
And then you do this to my man.
Yeah. Where he's just sulking and depressing.
And then finds out Jean's alive. Oh no, it's feet.
Well, he kind of helps bring her alive by shooting.
Oh yeah, optic blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
we do see his eyes for the first time.
Yeah, and he doesn't even get the dignity of having a death on screen.
No.
Because once he gets into contact with Jean, oh no, it's not Jean.
The kiss of death.
It's the Phoenix.
Yep.
Which, speaking of that,
Yep.
Jean Grey, a.k.a. the Phoenix, played by Famke Janssen.
She actually did.
She did a fantastic job.
Yep. We find more about her childhood.
Which I really did enjoy, though it does kind of make me question... It does make me question,
Although it takes place in
the timeline and...
in the 80s until the Days of Future Past alters it, which makes her a teenager.
And at the same time, who was first recruited? Who was first recruited by Charles Xavier?
I guess Jean in this timeline. Because we don't see Cyclops, so I guess Jean. And then Cyclops and Storm.
And where does Beast come in?
Beast is working on mutant rights at the moment, I guess.
But he
Or the costumes. Or anything.
possibly, yeah. Probably building the jet.
Yeah.
So yeah, this does call into question a number of things as far as the timeline.
Yeah.
Based on what we know from the comics.
Yeah.
But it was cool to actually see, see her abilities as, as a kid.
And actually go talk about the levels of mutants in this movie.
Yes.
Which was never discussed in the first two movies.
Which they should have brought up.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they discuss it ever again in the next movie.
No, they don't. They don't bring up the idea of what is considered an Omega level mutant.
Yeah.
And Omega level mutants are the most powerful mutants in the world.
Yeah.
Cyclops is an Omega level mutant. Mm-hmm. Jean Grey is an Omega level mutant. Isn't Professor X Omega? Yeah. Yes, Professor X is an Omega level mutant. Storm, I believe, is an Omega level mutant. That's why there's a chain of command.
Yeah.
That's why there's a chain of command. Why do you think it's Professor X, Cyclops, then Storm?
Yeah. Of course, in this one, they decided to make her more realistic by having her have a split personality instead of an actual sci-fi being.
Yeah, which I understand why they did that, because they were trying to at least keep this a bit more grounded.
Yeah.
Not go into the absolute, fantastical nature of what the whole comic book series is. I get it. Though, I do want to eventually see them do Phoenix right.
Yeah.
Actually have it be another entity that comes into contact with Jean Grey, and they go through the whole flip-flop of who's more in control of the body before Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Rather than it always being a part of her, but it being like a latent or dormant part of her that once things get serious, taps into it. Oh no, the sleeping giant's awake.
Yeah. And of course she also is extra sexy as Dark Phoenix.
Well, yes, this is true.
This is true. Especially when she tries to seduce Logan on the table.
Yes, which that got very hot and heavy, and I know Logan seriously had to contemplate things, because here is what he wanted right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
But yet at the same time, he still knows that there are two minds at play right now, and he knows one of them is trying to manipulate it.
Yeah. And Dark Phoenix does a lot of damage by killing off 2 X-Men and a lot of other civilians and mutants.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was dusting people before Thanos made it cool.
Yeah.
And
of course, Dark Phoenix chose the Magneto side.
Yeah, because there's no Hellfire Club yet, so she has to align herself with some sort of antagonistic force. So, okay, I guess Brotherhood / Morlocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the end, we lose her again.
We won't give away how it happens, but unfortunately,
if you've seen the Dark Phoenix saga, you kind of know who that's going
to be. But for those who may have skipped this film, unfortunately, everything always ends up pointing to Logan.
Yep. Of course, let's talk about the Professor.
Yes, the other man that was done dirty. Not to the degree of Cyclops, but still done dirty. Professor Charles Xavier, a.k.a. Professor X, played by Patrick Stewart.
Yep. Like, he does great in the first half of the movie that he's in.
Yes, and also
he appears more than Cyclops does in the movie.
Yes. Yes, he does. And plus, I do have to give them some credit with the,
De-aging.
Yes, them de-aging him for the opening scene where we see Jean as a kid. And, we see him and Magneto before he went crazy.
Or after, because 60s. This takes place in the 80s, so maybe he decided to take a break from causing havoc.
No, you're already making this. Don't do this. You're already making it confusing. And dear God, we have to get into that with later films.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it here.
Yeah, well,
prime timeline right now.
Well, Patrick Stewart had to remember how he acted when he was in those younger days. Like during Star Trek Next Generation, he had to go watch himself and see how he acted and performed so he could perform it right. Like he...
perform it like as a younger man.
Yeah, instead of looking like he was really old, like Robert De Niro does in The Irishman. Unlike Robert De Niro from The Irishman, who is the age but still
acts like an old man.
Yeah.
Bro, you should have looked back at your tapes.
Yeah.
I think him and Pacino, unfortunately, did not look back at their tapes.
Yeah.
But Patrick Stewart did do a fantastic job.
We see that
with
much
that.
more darker side to Professor X,
which I also love, because a lot of people seem to forget, despite what Professor X pushes, what he wants the end goal to be, he's not. He has his moments where things are morally questioned.
Mm-hmm.
He's not absolutely lawful good.
Yeah.
He's more of a neutral good.
Yeah.
And there have been times where, unfortunately, he had to use his abilities in not the most ethical way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, this man later on ends up becoming a member of the Illuminati, and we already know how lawful neutral or true neutral they are.
Yeah. Watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with Patrick Stewart.
Yes. Yeah, where he actually finally gets the yellow hover chair.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do like the fact that they did bring up one of the 10 usual things as far as plots are for X-Men that, oh no, Professor X may have done a bad thing. Maybe it was for the greater good, but he did a bad thing.
Yeah, mainly Wolverine and Professor X fight it out over the Jean Grey thing. Although with Magneto on the side.
Yeah, because all three have different ideas about this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan is like, no, you're treating her like a puppet, like a doll, that you can just do with willy-nilly.
Yeah.
While Professor X is like, there's a whole nother part of her that is absolute chaos that we needed to keep in control. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, later on in the film, we see how devastating that chaos can be.
Yeah.
And then there's Magneto that's like, her power is too great to be hindered. Let her do it.
Yeah.
Until he realizes, what have I done?
Of course, we also get Professor X's first death. First of 3 deaths. Like I said, also Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because we reviewed that one with a special guest.
Yes, yes. Go back to our back catalog. I think you'll probably like it. But yeah, this is the first time that we have to deal with Patrick Stewart dying in the Marvel Universe.
But don't worry, he had a backup plan.
Yeah, just go ahead and inhabit the vegetative body of your twin.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not, morally or ethically wrong.
Still part of his dark side.
Seriously, in the end, who's truly the villain here?
Yeah.
Who is the villain here?
Yep. But he does have his Obi-Wan moment with Logan before he gets blown to pieces with the look. Saying everything's going to be okay. I'm just not going to tell you what I'm about to do, but everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, everything will be all right in the end.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to go with the failsafe.
Yeah.
But you guys will be fine without me. Dust. And I mean, poor Magneto, he's very conflicted.
Yeah. Should we get into the Brotherhood, or should we get into the Angel, the one who has?
Go with the Brotherhood first. Yes, starting with the leader himself, Eric Lesher, aka Magneto, played by Ian McKellen.
He's fantastic as always.
Yes, though unfortunately when it came to the de-aging, while it did work fantastic for Patrick Stewart, it wasn't always the best for Ian.
Yeah.
It sometimes it looked realistic, and then sometimes he looked like a video game character. Yeah. At least with Patrick Stewart, it felt much more believable.
Yeah. His one goal was to go find mutants for his cause to go get rid of the cure.
Yeah. Just kill a kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Despite your whole thing of survival of the fittest and save mutant kind, okay, we're just gonna go kill a kid.
And then he also turns his back on his fellow mutants who lose their powers,
which we'll get into because, that was done dirty. That was done very dirty.
Yep.
I mean, part of me gets it, but then part of me is like, bro. She's been your right-hand person for how long? Has been a part of your cause for how long? She didn't choose this. They forced it upon her. You could have still had her be on your side or something, but no. Sorry, but you're not one of us anymore.
And makes Pyro his right-hand man.
Which, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
And just using Jean Grey as the failsafe.
Yeah. You always have to have a trump card in your hand.
Yeah.
Though, unfortunately, the trump card ends up flipping the whole table, and it ain't on anyone's side. It's on only its side.
Yeah. Of course, he does do awesome work by flipping over a lot of police vehicles.
This actually is one of the best films to show how powerful Magneto is.
Yeah. Along with pulling the whole Golden Gate Bridge.
Which, yes, that is one of the best moments ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to predictability? I mean, I'm just going to rip the Golden Gate Bridge off of San Francisco and move it over to, Alcatraz? Yeah. And, we just gonna walk down the bridge, I guess either as an army or the civil rights movement, and do some liberation.
Yeah.
But it will result in ending with killing a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he lives in an underground bunker. Now.
Which why? They really could not let him be on Krakoa.
I think they weren't thinking of that part yet. They were open for like maybe later movies, but at the same time, I think this was going to be probably the final movie at the time.
Before they realized, oh, we could do more with this, and oh, we want to keep the film rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before they figured out, oh, you can do more than just 3 films.
Mm-hmm.
If only Sony knew.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the underground bunker.
Yeah.
They really could have let him be on Krakoa.
Yep. And there was 2 alternate versions of where he heard from Pyro about the cure. There's like one where Pyro goes down the underground bunker, and one of them has him wearing a beard. The other one is him clean shaven.
Wait, who had the beard?
Magneto.
Ian McKellen with a beard.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah. So we had two different versions. The non-shaven version and then the clean-shaven version.
I think the clean-shaven is, yeah.
And they decided not to use neither. They decided just to, for time, just keep going.
Yeah, he just heard about it.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, he just heard it through the grapevine.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They could have used that time for something else.
Yeah.
Ah, Lord. But Ian McKellen does do fantastic. Plus, he does finally get to have his "What have I done" moment.
Yeah.
When he realizes, oh yeah, maybe my plans aren't for the betterment of mutant kind. Maybe sometimes it's mainly just for me.
Yeah.
And I just doomed everyone.
But let's talk about his brotherhood.
Starting with the new right-hand person. Yeah. Okay. John Allardyce, a.k.a. Pyro, played by Aaron Stanford. My God, this man, when it was time to do the heel turn, oh yeah, he went full heel.
Yep,
and he was enjoying it.
Along with pulling his former best friend, Iceman.
Fire and Ice.
Along with him killing a couple people at the center where they did the cure.
Yeah. And with Magneto doing a lot of his destruction and yeeting, he decides, why don't I add some fire to that? Fire yeets.
Yep.
Yeah. Flaming cars being thrown at people.
Of course, Magneto doesn't like it when he celebrates the death of his former teacher, Professor X, saying that he could have done it too.
It's like, have a heart, man.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we are on opposing sides, he was still your teacher and he was my friend.
Yeah.
Have a heart.
Yep.
But then again, remember, when he went heel, he went full heel.
Yep. And he has a good showdown with Iceman.
Which, yes, it was.
But sadly, we don't see him again until this upcoming movie. This was his last appearance until...
I know. Until the upcoming film, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So, after he was defeated, was he tethered and put into the void?
Well, he also kind of died during the Sentinel future.
But then that was rectified, and then we have the good timeline.
Yeah.
So...
Still don't know.
See, this is why they messed up everything. They messed up everything as far as the timeline.
I can't wait for Deadpool to make fun of the whole entire timeline.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I wonder, are we going?
He's like, oh,
Which Xavier are we going to see get killed over and over and over again? Is it going to be Patrick Stewart, or is James McAvoy going to have his first death?
I still have a feeling it still might be Patrick Stewart.
With this franchise, and we don't have any plans for him moving forward, he must die.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yep. But
I guess now we go into the person that was done dirty.
Yep.
Raven Darkholme, a.k.a. Mystique, played by Rebecca Romaine.
She first gets captured by the government.
Yeah, which I do love her banter with the guard.
Yep.
Yeah, which form am I gonna use to kill you?
Yep. Her regular form. She doesn't answer to her slave name, Raven.
Yeah. And also, apparently she stole Famke Jensen's finishing maneuver.
Yep.
Kill a man with your legs.
Yep.
Kill a man with your thighs.
Yep. Of course, she also had found information about the mutant before before she gets turned on.
Yeah, because unfortunately she's one of the casualties of people who got the cure but didn't choose to get it.
Yeah.
So we end up getting Rebecca Romaine with dark hair.
Yeah.
Had she changed her hair, or was that just a choice for the character?
I guess that was just a choice for the character.
You know, I would have pictured something a bit different if Mystique was human, but oh well. Hey, kind of worked.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, after that, we really don't get any more Rebecca Romaine.
Yeah.
And she had really grown into the character by this point. She was fully on her Mystique stuff.
Yeah.
And
she was depowered because she was busy filming another project at that moment.
How many people were in so much scheduling conflicts?
Apparently just 2.
What, just Marsden and Romaine?
Yep. Of course, Romaine says she didn't like the director. Along with the Kitty Pryde and rogue actors.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. We almost thought about putting disclaimers before these reviews, because just like how very controversial Bryan Singer is, so is Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
Both have done absolutely terrible things.
Yeah. But let's get back to the other Brotherhood or whatever. But
I guess the newest member?
Yeah.
That was liberated along with... Yep. Kane Marco, a.k.a. the Juggernaut, played by Vinnie Jones.
Yeah. Well, that Juggernaut will be back, just not by Vinnie Jones. He's just an extra.
Allegedly. You never know. They may still be lying.
Yeah.
After what we went through with Andrew Garfield, we should not take anything any actor says by face value.
Yep. But this Juggernaut's are related to Charles. They're not anything.
Yeah, they're not stepbrothers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I would have loved the banter between them, but...
Yeah. He ends up fighting Wolverine and Kitty Pryde.
Yeah. And actually does some really cool stuff with those 2 things that he gets to do.
Although he kind of throws Wolverine into the house that he wasn't allowed to put Wolverine into the house.
No. Make sure no one gets into this house. Right. Yeet into the house. Then yeet him out of the roof. Juggernaut, causing destruction is your thing, but you couldn't follow the rules for longer than a couple minutes.
Yeah. Of course, he does the meme.
I guess we let the clip speak
Yeah.
for itself.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All based on the YouTube meme.
yeah, which really only the beginning part of that whole voiceover is the best part.
Yeah.
Which nowadays, some of the decisions as far as what they did as far as jokes,
Yeah.
not in the best of taste, but it's still a classic.
But he looks like the role a little bit.
Kinda.
Last time we see him, he gets knocked out because he can't use his powers against Leech.
Yeah. He got owned by a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 2 kids.
Yep.
But Juggernaut will be done better in a later film.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess now we get into the other guy that didn't
Yeah.
get to do much, but it was nice to finally see him.
Yeah.
Warren Worthington III, a.k.a. Angel, played by Ben Foster.
Yeah, he doesn't really have that much to do.
I mean, it was nice that we got to see, the whole conflict
Yeah.
of Angel and it being one of the leading things that kind of inspired his father in working on creating the cure,
Mm-hmm.
which, I'm cool with that, but they could have done so much more with Angel. He's one of the OG members of the X-Men.
And they cast an actor who's afraid of flying, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm. But I mean, they could have done so much more. All we get to see is child him cut off his wings, adult him almost forcibly given the cure,
Yeah.
him yeeting out of a window and flying, come back, save his dad, fly again.
Well, he also went to the school after Xavier's death. Because they're contemplating closing down the school.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he kind of helps
Yeah.
them figure out. No, we need to keep this open.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least he did that.
Yeah.
But he could have done more.
And,
I would have loved to have seen Angel actually be in the fight.
and there goes all 5 of the original characters from the original X-Men.
Yeah.
Just not in the same thing together.
Can we ever get that? Can we ever actually get like the full original team?
We'll have to see about how Marvel does their stuff.
Well, no, they've already told us we're getting the animated series lineup.
Yeah.
So, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Maybe give us a flashback.
Yeah. But should we get to the good?
Like, yeah. Well, some of the plot was good.
Yeah.
Loosely based on Gifted
Mm-hmm.
and the Dark Phoenix saga.
Both stories I have.
And both that are really good stories.
Yeah.
It's just the execution was a bit...
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily done the best.
Yeah, especially going back and forth with stuff. They should have just kept one plot.
I think they should probably lean more towards the Gifted storyline rather than go full Dark Phoenix.
I think they were going to do full Dark Phoenix with the Fox executives.
That wanted to have the subplot.
Yeah.
Man, that's dumb.
Yeah. So Fox did what what Sony did with Spider-Man 3.
Well, Fox be foxing, just like how Sony be Sonying. Oh, yeah, we have this one idea. Let's shoehorn a couple other things in there that we may not really need.
Yeah.
But just fan service. But how much fan service is it really?
Yeah. Of course, the acting.
Yes, which Famke Janssen,
Yeah.
fantastic. You know, seeing her go through the conflict of the two personalities, Jean still trying to keep a hold while Phoenix becoming much more powerful, manipulating people, and then killing.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, again, whether he's de-aged and walking or modern day him in a wheelchair, fantastic.
Actually, his darker side yet.
Yeah, where we get to see much more conflict.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, as always, fantastic as Wolverine. See, the person who has to take over after this man finally retires, they have such heavy shoes to fill.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this man has been the only actor to play this character for over 20 years.
Yeah.
He just got it. Of course, great to finally see Halle Berry do good things.
Yeah.
You know, this was the best acting she did in this whole franchise.
Yeah.
And of course, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Whether he's being sophisticated, you know, hanging upside down reading his book, or freaking swinging off of a pole and mauling people,
Yeah.
it's Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Fantastic. Of course, the action,
Yeah.
fastball special, so much yeeting.
Yeah.
The Danger Room sequence, which we actually get our first allusion to the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad, that's what the fastball special was used. Kill a Sentinel.
Yeah. We can see an early prototype of the Sentinel.
Which, that looked better than what we end up getting later on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, at least what we got later on followed the color scheme, but no, that one had a better face.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big final fight.
Yeah.
Everybody standing in a row, and then everybody run at each other, and it's chaos.
Yeah.
But fantastic chaos.
Yeah. Of course, the visual effects.
Yes, I mean, Phoenix effects done very well. Angel flying was done fantastic. And I cannot praise Kelsey Grammer enough. He went through...
Hours of makeup.
Yes, he went the practical way in looking like Beast. He went through hours of makeup and prosthetics to look like Beast. Mm-hmm. And on top of it, he was still able to show so much expression and emotion. And Kelsey Grammer is one of the best things of this whole film. Just fantastic.
That's why he came back for the MCU.
Though, since he's a much older man, he can't go through all of that makeup anymore, so CGI Beast.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more of him.
Yes. We are.
Yeah.
We are. We're getting a whole X-Men film before the second half of Secret Wars. We are.
Yeah.
Of course, we have a number of special minor role characters, such as Dania Ramirez as Callisto. And here I have to go on another rant. While she did do a good job, they did Callisto completely wrong. Mm-hmm. Callisto, she's the leader of the Morlocks. They're the mutants that stay underground because, you know, a lot of them are the much more mutants that kind of have to hide themselves because they can't really acclimate into society because, you know, they kind of have things like what Beast goes through, or they've gone through some truly traumatic things on the surface world, so therefore they choose to live underground until things are better.
Yeah.
Callisto is one of those individuals, as before she became the leader of the Morlocks, she was hunted down and savagely beaten by people. By regular people. She survived it, but it left her physically and mentally scarred. As in scars on her face, she lost an eye, probably got a few teeth jacked up. She's supposed to look pretty rough. All they did with Callisto in this film, give her a face tattoo. And plus, on top of it, they didn't give her all of her powers on top of it. They decided to make her a speedster.
Yeah.
Which, no. Callisto has so much more than that. I mean, Callisto has leadership intuition. She has a healing factor, which I don't think electricity should have killed her.
No.
Plus, on top of the superhuman speed, she has agility.
Yeah.
Which, really, they only gave her the superhuman speed. Plus, superhuman senses. She's just as strong with her senses as Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
She could have came in really clutch.
Yeah.
But no. You didn't get the character right as far as her abilities and the whole allegory of what the character is. I mean, heck, she, as good as Danielle Ramirez did,
Yeah.
she really Oma Hiramota as Arclight, she looked more like what Callisto would be. Which, on top of it, you know, the whole get messed up in the face also led to a bit of androgyny with Callisto.
Yeah.
That would have worked, but no. Of course, we also had Psylocke, played by Milling McCon.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, you really wouldn't. Every time we could potentially get Psylocke and they just do her dirty.
Yeah.
I swear. Though Olivia Munn did do
Yeah.
okay. We got Kid Omega, played by Ken Liu?
Yeah.
And we also got Dr. Kavita Rao, played by Sheree Agadashlo.
Yeah.
Which I liked her.
Yeah.
Why she have to die? She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And of course, Jimmy, aka Leech, played by Cameron Bright. And we also got Multiple Man, played by Eric Dane.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Multiple Man.
Yeah.
We got one of the other iterations of Spike, played by Lance Gibson.
Yeah.
As in, you know, yeet, 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 yeet.
Yeah.
And we also got Maura McTaggart, played by Olivia Williams, which they... What nationality did they make her in this?
British.
When she's supposed to be Scottish?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, make her English, but she's Scottish. British enough.
Yeah.
And we also got Trask, played by Bill Duke.
Yeah.
which also caused another confusing thing.
In the timeline. I'm just going to assume it's his son.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't give him the full name. They just called him Trask. And plus, I guess it's implied that his dad, who was the Trask before, hooked up with his secretary?
Yeah.
Who was black?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it works.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we did get a number of really nice cameos, such as Chris Claremont, the principal writer of X-Men for so many years,
especially the Dark Phoenix saga,
as one of his greatest stories, and as well, Discovery of the Morlocks. We also got a Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah.
As I guess they were both in their lawns just trying to take care of them, and oh no, Jean's powers.
Yeah.
We also got Adrian Hugh, the voice of Nightcrawler from the animated series.
Another animated series cameo.
Yeah, as he played Mr. Gray. Yeah, Jean's father. We also got Shauna Kane as Siren, I believe, once again.
Yeah.
And once again, we also got Kia Wong as Jubilee.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate neither of them get to do anything.
Yeah.
Now, the bad.
I think we've discussed most of the bad.
Oh, yeah. There really isn't much else left to say. So many characters were done dirty.
Yeah.
Some were just squandered or not utilized to their full potential.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So, want to get into the scores?
Yeah, why don't you go first?
I give this an 8 out of 10. I said I really enjoyed. At the time, I was ticked off because of them killing off Cyclops and Professor X. So I was upset, but now looking back at it, with also the time travel movie that we'll be reviewing in a couple weeks from now, I give this a better grade than it would have from earlier.
Well, for me, I'm gonna show this film mercy. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Initially, based off of some of the things I had seen of the film, this would have gotten a 5 or a 6. But after fully sitting through the film, seeing everything, thinking about it objectively, yeah, it's a 7. It actually has a lot of really good, despite some of the glaring issues it had as far as characterization and utilization of characters. But other than that, it was still a good film, and we still got a lot of great work out of the cast.
But if you tell us your opinion, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
You can also find us on Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok.
Make sure to like, comment, share our videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And as well, click the post notification bell so you're updated.
But now we're going to be going into the spin-offs.
Yes. Well, yeah. The
spin-offs.
The spin-offs, and then
the prequel.
The prequels.
Yeah.
/ alternate timeline / yeah, things get weird and confusing.
Yep. Yeah, we're doing it by production order, so.
Yeah, so you're going to get a spin-off, then a prequel, then a spin-off, then prequel / future / alternate timeline, then
sequel. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then another spin-off.
And then another spin-off series, which I know we're all going to enjoy.
Yeah. Yep, so Want to roll us out?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and click the post notification bell so you're updated with all of our videos. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.